Howdy ho, folks. Multiversal Medium here for another episode of a horrible game that refuses to stop being horrible. Hey, by the way, we don't have party anymore because we had a bunch of cutscenes where we didn't have a party because they keep doing that. I don't know why. They just are really bad about doing that. There's no reason to. Last episode, we got to the final dungeon. I'm not going to go into detail about why this is effing stupid. If you've watched until this point, you should have enough comprehension as to why this is stupid. This is just so obviously dumb in so many different ways that it should not exist. But here we are. Anyways, as we saw in the cutscene right at the end of last episode, apparently this is relating to the first cutscene in the game about how we might just be the one that can save the girl or whatever. But, well, as we figured out via the entire game, they didn't do any build-up whatsoever about this girl we're supposed to be saving. And why the absolute F should we care about saving a character that we've had no build-up and don't know anything about? You know, because bad writing. So here we are in a dungeon, trying to save a character that we don't know anything about. Effing Christ, why? Just why? Anyways, as I try to figure out what icon means what. Okay, so... Oh, that just works that way. Okay. I thought we would have had to activate it. Actually... So from what I'm seeing, I'm not pissed at the frickin' dungeons setup. What I'm going to assume we're dealing with is an entire dungeon built around doing the other Seas Light mechanics. That being said, I've went on tangents when we're in the Seas Light dungeons about how the mechanics honestly just kind of effing suck and there's no reason for them to be there. At least I'm pretty certain I did. If not, the mechanics in the Seas Light dungeons effing suck and they don't need to be there. There we go. After all, the first Seas Light dungeon didn't even have mechanics, even though it's supposed to be about fire or whatever. Weird, huh? Weird. So, I'm fine with the final dungeon kind of just mixing all of that stuff. That's actually a good idea for final dungeon design. Taking everything you've learned until now and just kind of putting it in practice. That's not a bad thing.
I hope you're prepared. Your judgment day has come.
What is bad is all the writing and... Why is there just random tech here? Are we going to get a proper explanation as to why there's just deformed tech in this weird crystal cave that is in a giant pillar of light? Or are we just supposed to ignore that and completely look past that? Are we ever going to get that explanation? Okay. I guess we're just... Whatever. Yeah, sure. This is just what we're doing now. Like I said, I'm not against this kind of dungeon design. I'm just against a majority of the other aspects of this game. And it's paired with, like, we already know they can't make a good dungeon that's based around something. Like with the amusement park dungeon and how it was totally not set up like an amusement park. It just had amusement park skin, quote unquote. Yeah, I guess let's just go to the northern area. What the heck are we working with here? Gathering. Okay. Well, this is a waste, but whatever. Are you effing serious? We are in the final dungeon. What does this game assume I'm using monolith fragments on? Is there some crafting recipe that is the most OP thing ever based around monolith fragments where you need 50 just to make one? What is it assuming I'm constantly crafting with monolith fragments? Like, seriously, what is it just assuming I'm doing with them? I cannot comprehend this.
That was a walk in the park.
Why are we constantly getting monolite fragments every single, like, harvest node and mining node? What is the effing point? Why can I not jump down a ledge? Why do I have to take the frickin' ladder? Does that mean is there an invisible wall on the ledge unless you're interacting with the ladder? Oh gosh, I may not fucking make it back home. I forgot frickin' the stupid ladder took an hour. I swear to effing Christ if I pass out right in front of my bed. That would be the most farming game thing ever. I did it once in this. Just once. It was funny. For all of a fraction of a second before it just became annoying. Why does this game, like seriously, monolite fragments in the final dungeon? What is the effing point? What is it expecting me to use these things on? Why am I mining these effing things so late in the game when they are in every single effing gosh dang mining node? I just cannot comprehend what's the point. Oh, I shouldn't have moved that one. Let's grab out the stupid little dude. Yeah, okay. And I guess 2 of you. Cool. But yeah, it's... I'll admit, I don't super give a rat's butt about the crafting. I really don't. I am pissed about the crafting in this game. I legit am. Because the crafting is just them trying to give proper reasoning for the farming aspect when the farming just sucks. Like, they realized the farming didn't do anything for the rest of the game, so they had to try and make it useful with this BS cooking and production system. But beyond that, what the heck am I supposed to be using these monolites for? Legit, what? What's the point of having monolites in the final dungeon? I'm not even gonna believe BS like, well, it's world building actually. This game can't world build, they contradict themselves constantly. The monolite fragments are in the mining nodes of the final dungeon to be annoying. That is legit the reason. I crap you not, that is the reason. They are there so that you as an effing player don't get the item you need when mining in the final dungeon. That is the long and short of it. That is the entire point of monolite fragments being there. So you don't get what the heck you're trying to get. That is it. They added extra items into the frickin' loot pool to try and stop you from getting the items you want so you play longer. I hate this game and its entire setup. I really, really do. But once it's done, it's gone into like 100%. I may just freaking toss this game into like a freaking blender at this rate. No, that's not fair. That's... I wouldn't do that to a blender. I really wouldn't. It's so effing cruel to just a random piece of machinery that does not deserve that kind of BS forced upon it. I can't sell this game. Like, I am not mean enough to sell this game to someone. This game is like an effing curse. I would rather die with the curse than inflict it on another individual, especially by demanding money for it. Like, seriously. What would be a good way to get rid of this game? Should I just bury it somewhere? Yeah, I should probably just bury this. Bury it in a weird, like... You know what I should do? I should get an effing, like, coffin or something. And just pop this in the coffin. Like, just a little mini coffin. And then pop it in the ocean. Full Dio style. Just, it's a curse that needs to be destroyed, and I hope my freaking ancestors down my freaking family line that I'm not continuing, just like some weird extended family ancestors, do not accidentally have to deal with the curse of this game being brought up from the ocean floor. It's 100% what I should do with Harvestella. Oh my effing gosh. This effing garbage game. How long do you guys think the final dungeon is going to be? How long do you guys think? You got any bets? Because I don't. I just know it's going to be agonizing either way because it's going to be peppered with cutscenes that make zero sense. And characters that are annoying. And I bet you anything, the final boss is going to try and give us all this exposition that is worthless. Genuinely and truly just worthless. Because it's as gibberish as everything else. Have I not been selling... Wait, that... Was that a wild leaf or was that it was wild leaves. Yeah. Move all of those back. Wait, those things can just give 300 HP? Is that per? Yeah, they just give 300 per? The mushrooms just give 300? Could have just been eating random produce. Oh, that's great. Oh, that's so effing great. Like, how much do the stews give? 900 HP and 50% stam. Yeah, screw it. Why don't I just eat this stuff? Like, 100%. Why am I not... Like, I know I need to run around and try to, like, eat it while possibly dying. And in those scenarios, I should just basically eat the better healing things. That's a given, but just I can just eat the grass and get like a 300 HP buff. Like I didn't notice that. I just assumed it was like all the other random ingredient items where it gave 50, so I didn't care. And you pair that with the fact like the stew really fills your stomach. Actually, I should have it right now. Just, well, it only gives 20. Wait. We're actually checking this. So it takes one of these for 300, 300, and then this gives 900. So I could eat 4 of these to get 1200 HP and the same amount of stomach. Oh, but you get 50% stamina back. I mean, yeah, in clutch or whatever, but having your stomach filled means you can't freaking use some healing items. So arguably, it's just better to eat the ingredients. I freaking hate this game so effing much. It's freaking better to just eat the ingredients. Are you effing crapping me? Why? Every single time. Every single time. Is it just so counterintuitive with every base mechanic? Why can't one mechanic in this game just make sense? So yeah, if you got this far and for some reason you want to curse yourself with Harvestella for no reason besides maybe you're a horrible masochist, just eat the ingredients besides the berries. I think the berries only give 50, so yeah, actually juice those, but wild leaf and mushrooms, just eat them. There's no reason to cook. Cooking is worthless. I can't believe this effing game. I really can't. I really, really can't. How the F dare they, in every single scenario, do this kind of nonsense? I cannot believe it. This is just way better. This is just way better. Yeah, it's... It's like they saw every aspect of a farming game and they went out of their way to just try and make it bad. This is paired with the fact using any production machine like a juicer or the smoker or anything, as well as cooking stuff, doesn't increase how much money you're getting. The only reason to ever use production machines or cook things is if you're going to use the item. They're legit the same price either way. You're not making more money, so don't bother, basically. And I just... Why do they hate farming games so much? That's what I'm confused about. Because there's no other reason to do what the heck they're doing besides if they hate farming games. That's the only long and short of it. The team made a farming game in the worst way possible that they could to try and just be D-bags. And I will never comprehend just that level of vitriol to an entire genre. That being said, I guess we saw this handled well with Doki Doki Literature Club. That dude hated the whole waifu dating sim subculture, whatever, and that's why he made Doki Doki. And it was effing hilarious. It honestly was. Doki Doki subverts like visual novel dating sims on purpose because the dude thought the people playing them were creeps. And he wanted to low-key just make that game out of spite. And he did it well. He made the game well.
Your judgment day has come.
That being said, this farming game made out of spite is just... I keep saying it's made out of spite. Let's be honest, they're not confident enough to frickin' make this game out of spite. They're just completely and utterly incompetent. They're incompetent while assuming they're obscenely competent.
Shall we begin?
Okay. So we just need to avoid this dude that walks in a line. Okay. I'm amazed this is the first time we're getting this kind of like FOE AI. When this is like default FOE AI. They just haven't made decent AI for... why do I even have this? Where did this come from? Natural fiber? Am I legit getting crafting kind of stuff just from like the start of the game? And get rid of the effing monolite. I swear to effing Christ. Sacred lumber. Wow, cool. Just discard. Well, whatever. I'll keep the wheat, I guess, because I can actually just sell that. But like that's like default freaking faux nonsense. The fact that they walk in a certain pathway, basically. Okay, you two can come over here. Yeah, cool.
That was a fine escape you made there.
Yeah. But it's like FOE 101. That's how they work. By the way, apparently his AI is just broken now. His AI just completely is broken. Cool. That's interesting. Whatever. Because I apparently reset him over there, and since I'm not close enough, his AI just doesn't work. Okay. I've dealt with stupider. I've dealt with way stupider games when it came to their mechanics. Harvestella is just really good at being stupid in every way. That issue in a vacuum? Nah, it's fine. It's whatevs. It's the fact that it's like countless other issues at the same time, all at once, and they all have the same level of like, are you fucking serious?
Here I go. I can still fight.
Okay, so she's back up. Good to know. I think we missed like one offshoot path, and I'm gonna be effing honest, I don't care. I really don't. I want this game over with. Okay. It seems we're getting... pretty certain we're getting a decent amount of stuff that's like, yeah, this is just for selling. Monoplate. Okay, that's different. Wheat seeds, dude, why? Star crystal. Yeah, that's for selling. Yeah. Good number of these enemies just drop stuff that's like, yeah, it earns you money. That's... I'm not against it. Usually, though, you'd see that in a JRPG just as a weird side dungeon that you don't ever have to go to. And it's like, yeah, that's the best place to earn money. And it's like, why? It's, well, the enemies that, like, are throughout the entire game that drop, like, that item that's worth a lot, they just spawn a lot in there. Okay, cutscene time. Let's see how this game can infuriate me today, besides all the other ways it infuriated me today. Wow, that looks stupid. What's it hooked up to? Is this a laboratory? The words Project Gaia are written here. I call fucking BS already. First line, BS. The whole Gaia naming thing, the whole Gaia thing is effing stupid. It's really stupid. Geist even says Lost Gaia is just Earth. And the whole, they decided classifying Lost Gaia and Re-Gaia after they became set. But now we're just told there's a Project Gaia that's like ancient and is probably the source of the Red Queen and Quietus as a whole, that set in motion the fact that the set called Earth Lost Gaia and the new planet Re-Gaia. This is already effing stupid. One freaking sentence into this cutscene and it's already dumb. One sentence. It took one sentence to just be effing dumb. That's right. Research into Project Gaia was conducted here. Project Gaia? So effing stupid. This facility is beneath the planet's crust. Well, the real one is. Okay, so this is a separate one. This is like define real one in this scenario. Like, is this one technically still on Re-Gaia? And this is just a clone of the one from Earth? Whatever. What do you mean real one? Define real. How can that be? Shouldn't there be solid mantle beneath the Earth's crust? Yeah, actually, right? That's one scientific explanation you wanted, isn't it? Are you just saying science is complete BS? I know the scientist over there is complete BS, but like still. Is this monolith? I did not know one so large existed within this planet. Is it really so strange? What you call the Red Queen also emerged from the Earth's crust. What? What? It's just a retcon. She's not even calling it out. That's just a retcon. Guys, that's just a retcon. They just completely changed the plot. They just changed the plot. Oh my effing god, they just completely changed the plot. I'm not lying. Like, I legit went to the cutscene to where they're talking about the Red Queen on Earth, and it's Arya's old workplace. And she says it crashed into Earth and went underground. It crashed into Earth. And this bitch just outright says, what do you mean? The Red Queen grew and was like, came out of the planet. Is it so weird that the planet has monolites? That's what the Red Queen is. And like, it came out of the Earth. We were told it was a meteorite. And they just keep Why? Why? What is the point of making a plot point just to completely retcon it and change how the effing narrative goes? I swear, like several teams. You know what may have effing happened? This game may have been in development and it switched hands to a different team that completely changed how the effing game worked. I swear to effing Christ, there's no other way to explain this besides pure incompetence. But like if a different team got this after it exchanged hands, it would explain the stupid plot holes constantly and the endless contradictions. To a degree. Because as we're seeing, it will contradict itself in the same cutscene about what it just said, which wouldn't make sense even if you switched hands with development teams. It's just 100% a retcon. That is... whatever. So the planet is filled with monolite? I can't believe she's not even calling it out. You're half right. Think of it this way. The planet itself is one giant monolith. See, this stupid plot point would work in a high fantasy setting, but we are constantly being told this is a scientific one. And I'm not against those two merging. I'm not. But if we have Earth and it's obscenely technologically advanced to the point where they can make AI with their own capabilities of figuring out and problem solving, and those AI can space travel to a different planet, do you effing think the Earthlings would have figured out what was in the center of the effing Earth and that magic existed? Because yeah, they effing would have. This is so effing dumb. This is stupid. What? Planets are the circulatory organs, giant crystalline bodies floating in the nothingness of space. So effing dumb. So effing stupid. I hate this. Through the power of one such crystalline body, humanity awoke and humanity evolved. Okay, no, let's follow through with what she just said one paragraph ago. Planets are the circulatory organs for whatever space is. So is the entirety of the universe just a body? It's not the fact that planets are alive. We're literally just microorganisms in a giant body, and that's the entire universe? Is that what you're saying? Well, how would the circulatory system gain sentience then with the stupid this girl or frickin' the Red Queen thing or whatever the black evil version of her? Like, what? It's stupid. It's really stupid. You know what does this better already? Dread Delusion. Hey, back to the other series that's written well and does good world building. Dread Delusion's entire world is filled with quote-unquote neuron stars, and they look very organic-y. But then you talk to an NPC and you realize they've gone to quote-unquote space, and all of space and all of the universe is very similar to the inside of a human brain. And the neuron stars are neurons activating. And then you can deduce the fact that Dread Delusion is taking place in a brain, kinda sorta. Like all of the universe that they've been able to observe because they've been researching it resembles a human brain. And the neuron stars are just similar to how a human brain work. And the neuron stars are like basically stars that determine days and night and all that stuff. Dread Delusion did this plot point obscenely better because it knows how to world build. This is effing stupid. Take me home back to a better game, man. Just like you, they didn't believe it at first either. But when you're confronted with reality, your next thought is how to utilize it. I don't care. A scientific group named Animus wanted to use the monolith in the planet to create a supercomputer. What? No, how freaking define that? Sure. The monolith. We don't understand how they work. We don't know what the heck they're doing. We don't know anything about them besides the set gave them to the people on Regaia. The set made them, they thought. And if the set don't handle some weird wavelength thing of quote unquote energy, they explode. So how would you interface anything with that knowledge of what we know about it to make a supercomputer. What the absolute F are you talking about? This is once more this entire thing where the planet was like a giant crystalline mound and all planets are, and it's this grander thing of the great cosmos, would work fine in a fantasy setting. This is them constantly trying to make it a sci-fi one instead. What the F do you mean they tried to make the crystal into a supercomputer? Dianthus should be well aware of the monolite's property for transmitting light, right? It's a crystal. Yeah, they do that. We have fiber optics that does the same. Shut up. That is correct. The Animus researchers set out to reach this place and turn the planet into a single giant supercomputer. That makes zero sense with how fiber optics work. No, that's effing dumb. Turn the entire planet into a supercomputer. What's it connecting to? What's it doing? What is it interfacing with? You're putting light through it. To what end? What signals are you sending and where are you sending them? This doesn't make effing sense. And I know I'm being anal, but this is them trying to be sciencey. This is them trying to relate it back to real world nonsense. That's why I'm tearing it apart. It has horrible writing, but can't do the effing research for what the heck it's trying to do. Yeah, it's pompous in saying it's great. And that was Project Gaia. If you're going to be bad at writing, frickin' lean into it. If the planet is really a giant monolith, then logically their thinking is sound. No, the F it isn't. I want to slap every single character I see in this game. We use the monolith as a circuitry system between the sea's light, however. What? Well, that's something that could have been explained, I don't know, a long time ago. That's something that could have just been explained. But even then, that still doesn't make sense with a supercomputer. Let me put it this way. Dianthus just said, yeah, we use the monolith in order to basically use them as cables to connect to the machines that are the sea's light. Well, how would you turn a giant freaking crystal that you use basically for the nodes of a cable into a computer? I know there are wires in computers. The wires connect the other aspects of the computer. We're basically being told with just the fact that crystals and these monolites are used for light to reflect light in various ways, that the freaking monolith is just wiring. How would you make a computer out of a bunch of wires? Why would they do that? To pray for the happiness of mankind. Is it even worth getting upset at just random lines that completely don't make sense anymore? Is it worth it? I know this game is taking like so much time off my life just by me playing it. How much time am I losing in my general lifespan just by constantly getting angry at this game on top of that? Is it effing worth it to point out every single thing that's wrong with this piece of freaking garbage? Towards the end of the Gregorian calendar, war and mutual distrust grew worse by the day. Okay. Animus dreamed of a paradise where humanity understood each other, just like any other scientist. Okay. So are you going to tell us their actual name, or are you just going to keep calling them Animus? Because I bet you anything they weren't called Animus. And yes, I know what Animus is. Animus is the male soul, heart, what have you. Anima being the female counterpart. It is a type of, I'm going to say Greek philosophy, ideology. I don't know if it's actually Greek or not. I think it is a philosophy / trying to comprehend what determines a human with a soul and entity, sentience, sapience, what puts them above other species. And the male equivalent, the animus, would be stored in the heart. The female equivalent for women is anima, stored in their heart as well. Yeah, I'm aware of the terminology. It's stupid. Also, during that entire moment, I was cleaning my glasses. I hope you guys could somehow tell that just by my voice. But they did not know that the girl they would create would spell the end of everything. Oh, wow. They were playing with fire and like forces they could not comprehend. They had a giant crystal that was the entire planet and made the entire planet like magical, but they didn't understand magic. Who knew they couldn't comprehend things? Is this her you wanted us to save? Who is this girl? Is she the one who called Quietus? She is. And she hasn't. Oh, for frick's sake. We're at the end of the game and nobody will give us a direct answer about anything. She had one purpose, to grant humanity's wish. Okay. Cool. Did humanity want cancer dust? Is that what you're saying? Come, the girl sleeps ahead. Don't tell me to do that. I don't do that on command. If anything, I make out, you know, I'm not even going to talk about that. We're done. We're done. The cutscene's over. This entire area is just for that. Why is this room so effing big? Just for that one cutscene. The entire point of this room is that one cutscene. Look at how weirdly big this room is. And the entire cutscene just took place right here. Oh, there's a computer. There's just a freaking desktop. It's so stupid. But like, what is the point of the rest of this room? Why couldn't that be just like a small thing and then we just immediately walk into a loading zone right here? Why is this room so massive? I will never not find something to pick apart with this game. Okay, it's been an episode. I'll talk to you guys in another episode of Harvestella, or please, for the love of God, watch something better on my channel. Every other game I've ever done on my channel is better than this garbage. How are you still here? I'll talk to you guys later. Ciao.